Too often, when we think of the roles our military men and women perform, we fail to remember or fully appreciate their service as peacekeepers. For example, during the Balkan War of the mid-1990s, the United States military was part of the NATO peacekeeping force called Operation Joint Endeavor. Its purpose was to ensure that all sides ceased fighting and adhered to the Dayton Peace Agreement. Beginning in December 1995, American troops helped separate former enemy forces, secured roads and borders, oversaw weapons collection and demobilization, and created a safe environment so refugees could return home and civilian institutions could begin to function again. Jeremy S. Brown was part of that effort. On May 31, 1995, just after graduating from Triad High School in Troy, Illinois, Jeremy enlisted in the U.S. Army, looking for ways to better himself and find greater opportunities in life. Upon completing basic training at Fort Leonard Wood, Jeremy was deployed to Sinai, Egypt, with the transportation company 1st U.S. Support Battalion. There he served as a chauffeur for military dignitaries. Later, in November 1996, he was transferred to Bosnia with the 203rd Military Intelligence Battalion as part of Operation Joint Endeavor. Jeremy was a high school sophomore when he moved from Indiana to Collinsville, Illinois with his mother, Cassandra, stepfather Roger Price, and stepbrother Johann Price. Brown fit in quickly at Triad and was well liked by his classmates. 30 years later, his friends still speak fondly of him and remember that it was always fun to be with him. While participating on the track team and wrestling squad, Jeremy was best remembered as the school's mascot and spirit leader. Wearing a cape and knight's helmet, he proudly embodied Triad's identity, the home of the Knights, and energized school events with enthusiasm and good humor. Coincidentally, the symbol of Jeremy's 203rd Military Intelligence Battalion features a knight's black helmet. That enthusiasm and good humor fitted him well in the role of peacekeeper. The incoming principal at Triad High School, Joshua Ackerman, who knew Jeremy as a fellow student in the 90s, notes that Jeremy was definitely a peacekeeper. He never met a stranger, as he used endless humor to bring people together. On a very rainy night in mid-July 1997, while in a military convoy returning to the capital city of Sarajevo from Banja Luka, the 5-ton truck he was driving hydroplaned and slid down an embankment. On July 15th, at just 22 years of age, Army Specialist Jeremy S. Brown died of his injuries. Writing of his passing, his commander, Colonel John C. Green, remarked, "Jeremy's co-workers and leaders at his unit remember him fondly. He was always there for his peers, and he worked hard to exceed the standards set by his unit. We are all proud of Jeremy and grateful to him for the fidelity of his service." Back home, Jeremy's spirit lives on in the community he loved. Each year, Triad High School honors his memory by awarding its School Spirit Award in his name. As State Representative Ron Stevens noted at the time of his passing, it should not be forgotten that Jeremy Brown stepped forward to wear his country's uniform, and that any person who dies wearing the uniform of the United States military has a purpose.